everyone. My name is Michael, and I am the Director of Product Management at Apprenda. In this video, I will show you Apprenda's integration with key Microsoft technologies and demonstrate our powerful Better Together story. During the course of this presentation, I will be making an assumption that you're familiar with Apprenda and some of our core capabilities. As a refresher, I recommend the Apprenda 5.0 webinar that is on our website. The webinar is hosted by Rakesh, our Vice President of Products, and it will provide you with a good overview of our latest release. Let's get started. This is the Apprenda Operators console that helps me manage the capacity and the servers in the Apprenda grid. As you can see, this acts as a single pane of glass where I can manage both Windows and Linux compute units in both my private data center as well as in Windows Azure. In Windows Azure, I have created infrastructure as a service virtual machines and added them to the Apprenda resource pool. Let's drill into one of these nodes and look at the applications that are running here. Apprenda creates a unique container that allows you to run multiple applications on top of the same compute unit. Developers can provision their applications into this multi-tenant Apprenda infrastructure. Applications are created in a self-service way on top of virtual machines created by either System Center, Virtual Machine Manager, or by Windows Azure. We have delivered some powerful features for developers who can use the Apprenda Developer Portal, our Visual Studio plugin, or the REST API to provision, deploy, and manage the lifecycle of their applications. As an IT operator, I get to use the Apprenda Operators console that you're seeing right now, as well as System Center Operations Manager. With Apprenda's integration with Operations Manager, I can manage and monitor both the infrastructure and the applications hosted on Apprenda directly through System Center. Let's go ahead and open up Operations Manager. As you can see, I am running System Center 2012 R2 and you're looking at Operations Manager. Here I have already installed the Apprenda Management Pack for Release 5.0 of Apprenda. Within the same instance of Ops Manager, I can monitor one or more Apprenda installations or grids. Let's take a look at the Apprenda grids diagram here. If I go ahead and open this up, I can see that I have a single Apprenda installation here. I can open that up and I can see that I get to monitor both my applications, my developers, as well as the infrastructure of Apprenda. Let's go ahead and drill into applications here. As we expand this, we can see a list of all the applications that are hosted on Apprenda, and because there's so many of them, they're coded by the first letter of the application name. So I'm going to go ahead and open one of them here, and you can see the different applications running on Apprenda. I can also drill into the infrastructure, and I can see here my application servers, the load managers, my Oracle nodes, my SQL nodes, as well as the user interface servers that are serving the Apprenda applications. I can go ahead and look at my alerts here. And this is showing you when core Apprenda application services are not behaving as expected. I can open up an individual alert here. Let's go ahead and open up this alert, and I can see any available product knowledge that will help me remediate the issue. Within the same Operations Manager and through our extension with the Apprenda Management Pack, I can go ahead and look at the diagram view for my applications. Here we're getting detailed data about the applications hosted on Apprenda. I can see all the different applications that are running into Apprenda. Let's go ahead and open one of them, this time card by M2 Investments that I have created. I see that this is a multi-tier application I can expand it all the way and see that I have a web component here, and this web component is an IIS web interface that connects and integrates with the IIS management pack. I can also interface with the SQL management pack for my data tier, and I can get data from that management pack about the health of my database component for my app. We make it really easy to drill in and get deep analytics and information about how the application is running. I can do that across a variety of apps in that same environment managed by Apprenda and monitored by Operations Manager. Let's take a look at the all developers diagram. This will show me all the users that have access to the Apprenda platform. These are essentially the tenants of Apprenda. Since Apprenda is multi-tenant, I can see multiple tenant organizations or development teams. Under each tenant, I can see the various accounts and the applications each tenant has access to. With the Ops Manager integration for Apprenda, we can set utilization thresholds. When developers are using the platform, we can consume the performance characteristics of Apprenda within Operations Manager. When the capacity of the Apprenda grid starts getting used up, Operations Manager will generate alerts at, let's say, 60%, 70%, or 80% utilization. These are properties that can be overwritten within the Operations Manager and our management pack, depending on the environment and the needs of the IT operators. Once I get an alert, I can take action on it and deploy new physical or virtual servers into the grid to alleviate any capacity concerns. I can further automate the entire process end to end. I can configure the response to such alerts so that Virtual Machine Manager virtual machines are created and stitched into the Apprenda resource pool via System Center Orchestrator Runbook. Operations Manager integration allows customers to get a centralized single pane of glass view of the entire Apprenda environment directly through familiar products like System Center Operations Manager. They can further remediate issues using Virtual Machine Manager and Orchestrator, and they can integrate with any ticketing and process management software like System Center Service Manager. Let's switch gears here and go into Visual Studio. Here I have a line of business application called Timecard that I am working on. As a developer, I want to spend the majority of my time in the development environment that I am comfortable with. I get to code my application here, test it, debug it, and even deploy it into Apprenda from within Visual Studio. All that is made possible with the Apprenda extension for Visual Studio. It provides developers with the tools to deploy and manage their application in the Apprenda platform without ever leaving their favorite IDE. On the left, we have the Apprenda Explorer. Here, I can take an action on my application like promote it, demote it, update, launch, or delete it. On the Solution Context menu, I can take actions on this specific instance of the application that I am working on. I can deploy a new version of it, I can update the existing version, I can create an archive, edit my manifest, or launch the various Apprenda portals. In this particular application, I have gone ahead and integrated with a new feature from Visual Studio Online called Application Insights. That feature is still embedded today, but you can start leveraging its capabilities. What I have done is I have integrated the web component of my app with App Insights, and I'm leveraging it to get advanced analytics and user insight. Through Application Insights, I can better understand the performance of my app, how my end users are interacting with my app, and what is the experience my end users receive throughout the day. Let's take a look at the Application Insights portal. Here, what we're looking at is the Availability tab. Application Insights has multiple points of presence around the world that are executing synthetic transactions against my application. In this specific case, I have an instance of time card that I went ahead and deleted, so I get a lot of errors here in my synthetic transactions. In addition to that, I can configure an alert that will come into my inbox indicating to me that I have a problem with my application. You can see the alert here that has failed the configured thresholds I have defined for the locations of my app. Application Insights can check for HTTP codes, can do content match on the results of the page that comes back, as well as create the alerts that I just showed you. I can also leverage Visual Studio Web Tests for more complicated synthetic monitoring of my application. Let's go ahead and show you a good instance of my app, which is the one I am running right now, also another instance of timecard. Here I can see both the latency as well as the frequency of calls that the synthetic monitors are executing against my app, and it seems like I have 100% availability. Let's go ahead and go into the usage tab here. Here I get to see some of the features of my application and specific events that are executing within my app as actions that the end users are driving. This is basically application telemetry. Let's take a look at a specific event here. And this event is a timed event for every time a new employee is entered into the time card. I can go ahead and open that up, and I can see specific measurements of that time event in terms of duration, both minimum, maximum, and average, and as well as how many activities were executed against that timed event. If we were to go back into Visual Studio, we can see that I have created this timed event within my code, and I have instructed Application Insights to log that every time my add employee action was executed in my website. The results of that is a timed event you're seeing here on the web page. I can also go ahead and look at user analytics. Here it is showing me what is the trend of active users per day. I can take a look at the loyalty of my users and see both new versus returning users, the daily trend of that, and the engagement level on my application. I can further drill into the environment and look at how users are interacting with my application and what web browsers are using. Here we can see that Internet Explorer 9 is by far the most favorite browser for my app, with a little bit of Chrome, Mozilla, Safari, and Internet Explorer 10. As a developer, these advanced analytical and insights into how my users are using my app are invaluable in understanding both the performance as well as the usage of my app and how it is reacting when real users are using it. In addition to the features I've shown you so far with Operations Manager, System Center Virtual Machine Manager, possibilities into integration with System Center Orchestrator, Application Insights, as well as Visual Studio, we have integration with Windows Azure Park coming in within our next release. Stay tuned for more updated videos. Thank you for watching.